And now the story of how I found out I was pregnant and my husband's reaction. I had been on the birth control pill for 7 years straight with no break, and they had started giving me a lot of problems. I had frequent horrible headaches. They would last about 27 days out of every month. And the other thing that happened was my my menstrual cycles had completely stopped. And I worried that I had thyroid problems because they run in my family. But it turns out that if the estrogen in your pills are too weak, I believe it is, you may not have a cycle. But whatever the case, when I stopped the pill, I expected it would take a couple years to get pregnant. I expected I might have to seek fertility treatments. Despite that, it only took 3 months. And I had a headache, and I was going to take some medicine for it. But I thought, well, you know, I better check the pregnancy test just in case, you know. If I'm pregnant, I don't want to take a bunch of medicines. So, I got one, went to the bathroom, and peed on the little stick. And I looked down, and I thought I saw a flash of blue. And, uh-oh. So I looked, and sure enough, just a few moments later, there was a faint line. And, you know, when I was holding it, my hand was just shaking. I knew that it was a possibility that I would become pregnant. You know, it's what I wanted. But it was still so shocking and so scary. Because of just, you know, it's like holding a token that says, you know, your life is about to completely change. I was so out of it, basically, at that point. I kept dropping things, and I was confused, and my heart rate was just boom, 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 boom for hours the rest of the night. And I was worried that that would hurt the baby, you know, like maybe my body would think it was going through some crisis and reject, you know, the new pregnancy. And I sent the picture to my husband because he was at work. I sent it to him on his cell phone. And I was expecting like this, that he could have this huge moment where he, you know, sees the pregnancy test and he's like, oh, I'm going to be a father. You know, I kind of imagined it like that. But it kind of went differently. I sent him the picture, but he didn't check it. He calls back when he gets off work and says, you know, I'm off work now, I'm coming home. I'm like, well, did you see the picture? And he's like, no, what picture? And he checks it. What is this? That's a pregnancy test. And he's like, so what's it mean? Like, well, there's 2 lines. That means I'm pregnant. Oh, okay. Well, I'll be home in a minute. And I was like, that's it? I knew he had wanted a baby for a long time. So I was really confused by that reaction. But anyway, when he got home a few minutes later, I realized why. And the thing was that he was just so in shock, it just didn't register. It took a long time for it to really register. And he was the same as me. He was dropping things. He dropped his dinner on the floor, and he just was completely out of it. It's so much more responsibility than what we have been used to, that, you know, there was some fear involved, honestly. We're getting used to the idea, but sometimes we still go, wow, we're really going to be parents? It just feels surreal, because inside I still feel so young and so dumb. And, you know, when I was a child, I looked up to my parents as knowing everything, or looked up to adults as all-knowing and full of confidence and that kind of thing. And, you know, now that I'm there myself, I realize that's not really true. So, that's the story of how I found out I was pregnant.